Hi, my name is Jenna Bosiger, and you're watching Cryptids. On this episode, I'm going to continue reviewing my past Bigfoot research because from here, things are really going to start to escalate. So again, I had the experience deep in Batista Canyon with the whoops and being paralleled, and I figured they lived deep in the forest. And it was 2 years later before I started coming to this part of the riverbed, and I was coming here nearly every evening, and that's when I realized they're coming close into town so that they can access the water that's available at the golf courses here. So they're coming in, I think, from Batista Canyon. And like I said, they're not the only ones. You can see this area is covered with footprints. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the remaining evidence I have at this time from this location, which is all of the huge prints and a lot of them dragging things. And these are videos I haven't shown yet. And, they're huge prints. So this experience inspired me to do some research online to see if there were any local sightings in the past around this area. And I found out that specifically there have been, and specifically in Hemet. There were two Bigfoot investigators, Daniel Perez and Douglas Trapp, and they did a stakeout there because Daniel Perez had found 17-inch tracks. And again, he found a trackway, just like what I've been finding here. And they did a stakeout, but 17 inch tracks, and I don't remember how far apart they were, the distance between, but they were just obviously not human, kind of like what I'm seeing at this location. Among the Gabrielinos of southern Riverside County, the giant Tequis lived in a cave on Lily Peak west of Palm Springs. Nearby Tequit's Peak got his name from the Tequis. A major landmark, Mount San Jacinto, was also considered home of the Tequis. The Gabrielino Indians inhabited the areas which eventually became Los Angeles before the Spanish arrived. And to the north of Chino, California, between the cities of Pomona and Laverne and parts of Claremont, there was a place called Toy Pet, or translated, Devil Woman Who Was There. This is along the Santa Ana River. I'm sure they're talking all along there. There have been lots of sightings and reports of the Tequis. The Devil Woman was said to be very tall with large feet and hands, long toenails and fingernails, and as fast as a deer. In the early 1900s, old Gabrielino Indians told John Harrington that white hunters, very long ago, had trapped the Devil Woman, but later freed her. This article is on the website bigfootencounters.com. Interviews Peter. And he is talking about, he's a researcher from Southern California. He's talking about different incidents that have happened around Southern California. There were tracks near Palomar and across the valley near Tequit's Peak and in the Hemet area. Wailing cries have been reported from the outlying ranches, and animals have panicked or howled and bellowed en masse for long periods of time, usually at night. I can vouch for that. Oh my gosh, I've heard the most insane things at night coming from the riverbed. Just craziness. Well, it goes on to say there have been a number of good sightings too, including one involving two teenage boys who at night spotted a large, dark, man-shaped form at the Ramona Bowl. They thought it was a gag at first and threw rocks at the shadowy thing, which lopped away with heavy footfalls. When the running figure passed through a lighted area, the boys could see that it was big and hairy and definitely not a prankster in a fur coat. They were scared and ran home. As it happened, the mother of one of the two boys, was a respected local psychiatrist who said she'd never seen her son so terrified and believed his story. Obviously, they reported it too. Another case involved a lone jogger on Batista Canyon Road between Hemet and Thomas Mountain. The man rounded a bend and literally plunged into an enormous, hairy creature that caught him, lifted him into the air, and tossed him onto a soft patch of ground a dozen feet away. The witness went from jogging east to sprinting west and did not look back. Local police investigated and said the man refused to return to the site. And a retired engineer and ex-military officer found a big 5-toed tracks 18 inches long by 8 inches wide on the summit of Mount Kauai. The man said that while camping at night at the site, he heard a sound similar to that of a diesel engine coming from within the mountain. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, then please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. All right, thank you. Bye. This report is recent, dated Monday, August 5th, 2019. This is from a great website that you should all check out. It's phantomsandmonsters.com. On phantomsandmonsters.com, they have an article about a report of a huge blue-eyed Bigfoot near Temecula, near Hemet. And it quotes, "The Bigfoot I saw in Temecula, California in June of 1985 was at night. I stopped on a dirt road. I couldn't drive any farther than that at night, and when I got out to do my business, I heard and saw as I was finishing up, I did have an odor of something dead, like a deteriorated body of a coyote." Okay, specifically a coyote, I guess. No. Okay, anyway, it stood about 50 yards into a dry riverbed, of course, and trees with about 45 feet average height. Maybe he's talking about the trees. I shined my flashlight into the direction of the smell and saw the movement. But what may have been different than most sightings is that its eyes actually glowed bright blue, and it was about 12 feet tall, or maybe just a little less, judging by the height of the trees. His eyes were just above a limb that I measured at 12 feet the next day. And I had a .357 with me, but I had a feeling it would not stop this creature if I was to shoot in case it came for me, which obviously it didn't. I left in a big hurry in that Datsun truck, just did not seem fast enough. That was the second time I had seen one. The first time was back in March 1952 in the sage area between Hemet, California and Temecula, California. I went back the next day and measured the tree limb to his footprints, and they were about 20 inches long, maybe 9 inches wide. That is a huge creature. Okay, and then the other reports of the Bigfoot in the area, they were 17 inches long. So that is, and 12 feet seems to be the height. And reported, oh, there's another Bigfoot with blue eyes sighting in this area from a totally different time and everything. And I'm going to look for that and tell you about it. But all over the internet, you can find that there have been not only cryptids in Northern California, but also in the deserts of Southern California. And here he's called the Yucca Man or the Borrego Sandman. The thing is, these things can go unnoticed and unchecked by most people. I only noticed it because I was actually had that experience previously and was aware of them. But you'd be surprised at the places where the wilderness borders city about what happens there at night, and anywhere that you have cougars, coyotes, or those kind of top predators coming in at night, you're gonna have the potential for other cryptids as well. So keep your eyes open and look for prints. Right, thanks for watching this episode of Cryptic Cryptids, and I'll be continuing on with the review of my past Bigfoot research to keep the momentum going.